In February of 2017, the V.G.S. team had the opportunity to investigate the Perry County Museum and Old Courthouse in Cannelton, Indiana.
The Perry County Museum is located in the former Perry County Courthouse in Cannelton. The building itself was built in 1896 and finished in 1897. It was the home to our county seat until 1994, when the county seat moved to neighboring Tell City. And the Perry County Museum has been here for almost 20 years now in this building.
The V.G.S. team covered the basement, main floor, and upstairs to investigate some of the paranormal claims others have had at the museum.
Our team set out to investigate many of the haunted claims of the museum, such as hearing this phonograph play on its own.
After reviewing our files, we sat down to discuss the findings with Brandy and David, members of the museum board.
So basically, we're going to just review what we came here for. We're going to investigate some of the claims that were here, like the phonograph playing, I guess at random times when no one was around. That was that claim. Unfortunately, my camera didn't run half the night on that.
Wow.
The second half of the night, Kaylee and I, when we were reviewing it, thought, boy, we got something really good. And it turned out to be you sitting down outside there, right outside that room. You heard this breath and something moving around. So unfortunately, we didn't get anything with that. In this room right here, I put a camera up on the hot water heater. And I like that spot because I had it, for one thing, it picks up noises that a hot water heater makes. So if there's any noises that comes up, it's going to hear that right away. And I had it shining all the way through this room, all the way through that next room, and all the way to that final room on the other edge. I thought, this is going to be perfect. I'll get the aisleway between the rooms. And Dennis and I went to set up a black light to illuminate that whole distant room. Now this one is one in here. We were still setting up in this room. One thing that I noticed over the course of the 5.5 hours I listened to this is that when these doors are closed, surprisingly, not a whole lot of crossover. You can hear our voices over here, but not loud. And I guess maybe the walls are thick in different places, but sound really doesn't travel as much as you might think in here. I know we talked about the top, that main floor does, but down here, cameras here, here, and there, not much crossover. So this I picked up, and we decided to play it because it seems like it's coming from that room, but not from in here where we are. So see what you think. So I'll play it again. It was just right there about in the middle. I think I have an idea what it says. And you have to ignore the helicopter sound. My cameras do that sound to get this interference going. Sounds like it's right there by the camera. And the rest of our voices are muffled through the whole time. You can't hear us at all. So I think it sounds like it says hurry up. Just kind of weird. I'll play it one more time, see if you think that. Another claim we were going to investigate was in this room over here, the Oscar Mayer picture flying off the wall. Can you tell that story again, just in case we put that in there?
We had that room set up as an old one-room school, so to speak, with just the benches set up as an old schoolhouse. And a former teacher at the Myers building was giving the tour, and the picture that was on the wall of Oscar Daddy Myers, that Myers grade school is named after, just fell off the wall. It fell in an arc, so it wasn't like it just slipped off its hanger. There was, some movement to it.
In that room, for example, I put a camera right against the wall where that picture, where we thought the picture might fly off. So at one point, me and Dennis and Steve are down here. Everybody else is upstairs at this point. and we're working on that camera. Steve walks around here briefly, but it's really quick, like not very long at all. It doesn't seem to match up, but over in this room, I call the Oscar Mayer room, we get something, and I can't explain what it is. You get your steps upstairs. That's our voices sitting up. Bathroom, I think. That. I don't know what that is. I've slowed this thing down.
Nobody had flashlights.
I've seen moths before show light, but they don't go away. And like I say, this is another one of those for 5.5 hours. This is the only time I caught anything like that. So I played it.
Play that again, Jerry. I just saw something.
What was
I've
that
not seen it
sign
before.
for?
Shadow?
It does look like a shadow
Yeah.
down here, and
Yeah.
so you know, with the
That's what I
pixelation
have
and
just seen that
everything,
too. I didn't see that before. That's why I
And
was.
those windows there are too high for that to be a,
To me,
Right.
it's something that
Flashing
passes
outside.
right in front of the camera because, like I say, I've seen moths fly in front of cameras and different flying insects and stuff, and that's what they look like. Except
And I don't remember seeing a bug on my
it never happens again.
Yeah.
When we went upstairs, up to the top floor, when we started that night, if you guys remember, I immediately just went off on myself. Well, the reason I did that is because I was following that meter, and it led me in that room. And once I got in that room, I couldn't, it wasn't doing anything anymore. So what I did was I laid it down in the middle of the room, and then I sat with my back against the wall that was in between where you guys were and me. I think it's paneling or something. And a few times, Jerry would ask me while I was sitting in there, "Did you hear something? Is there something in?" I think you asked me once,
Yeah.
did I move in there or something? Well, what it was I was sitting in there, and if you guys think about that room, the one in the middle where I was, there's a room to this side and a room to this side. And what I was hearing, it sounded like somebody was walking from out of one room across the room that I was sitting in into the other room on the other side, and then it would come back this way. So I was wondering, okay, there's trash bags against the wall over there. Those trash bags occasionally would match up with the footsteps and make a crinkle noise, like something was brushing up against it. And at the same time, when it would pass the middle of the room, the noises, as they would pass the middle of the room, my meter would light up. And then once it passed, it would stop. And it'd come back this way and it would light up again. So that's why I came out, and I wanted someone to come in there.
And I came in at that point.
I wanted someone to come in there and see the same thing that I was seeing.
While we were all up there, something happened in the military room. And if you remember, I had my tripod set up.
Scary that like
I had my tripod set up in a full spectrum camera. I had what I call an IR illuminator. It's just IR LED lights that shine, make the room light up, basically down here. So that kind of sets up, and you know what the room looks like, and we went through a million explanations of what we could do. And what happened out of 5.5 hours, this happened about right before his experience, and 4 times over the next 5 minutes this happens, and then it never happens again. So it's really weird. subwoofer totally blocks out. Right
And the
there.
camera moved.
And the camera moved,
And
you
the
know,
camera
now.
moved.
Did it look like to you that the camera, it was like tapped down and then it kind
It
of
came-
slowly made its way back up?
Came back up,
Well, it's
right.
got, it's on a, they're kind of tightened down, so it's almost like it will do that. It'll
Yeah,
come
I
almost go back
think
to
you're
its
right. I think
position.
it's like something tapped it, then on its own, it just,
Yeah.
the pressure of it came
Yeah,
back up.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying something else adjusted it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but, it was like it was bumped down and then it kind of
Right.
fixed itself.
And it's just neat out of all
But this
that.
is, like I said, the time when we're all upstairs.
That's what I really got excited about. We're all accounted for.
If
No one
your
else.
gears had like slipped, it would have just fallen and
Right.
stayed at us.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we were really excited about that. That's pretty cool stuff.
After we had been upstairs for a while, I realized that the batteries in my IR camera were getting low. So I walked down the 2 flights of steps to the basement, changed out the 9-volt and AAAs, and made my way back up to the group. When I rejoined them, we had decided to go back to the main floor and continue our investigation there. What I didn't realize at the time was in my short trip from the basement up to that second floor, my brand new batteries had drained. At any rate, on the way back down the steps, Dennis caught something pretty interesting on his camcorder.
This though is, this is on a handheld that I've got right here. And you can hear me, my voice is very strong. You can hear Jerry talking. Steve whispered something to me earlier about something we were up there. And at that time, it's just us three. Everybody else has already started going down the stairs to the floor, level floor. But this whisper, it's not coming because you can hear people talking in a distance. So if somebody in distance whispered, you wouldn't be able to hear it. It's like it's right on the microphone.
And the second thing is I have my camera going at the same time, and it doesn't show up at all.
And it
on
doesn't
my
pick
camera.
up, there's nothing on his camera.
We're going to go downstairs. So if there is somebody here like to follow us, that's me. Come on down.
Is there anything you can tell us about the place? We're interested.
You might keep hitting that typewriter.
This is the room where you saw the brick just laying.
That's what it sounds like that person says.
It is, yeah.
I need to
What
drink
do you
water.
think, Pam?
Play it again.
Okay.
The thing is, and when we talked about it on the night that we got together, somebody is saying something to you. It sounds like they're saying it right there at me, whispering it. Nobody said anything like, "Oh, we'll get one when we get downstairs," or "Yeah, I could use one," or
Out there
it's a
continue.
random statement made and nobody responds to it. That's
We're going to go downstairs. So if there is somebody here like to follow us, that's me. Come on down.
Is there anything you can tell us about the place? We're interested.
You might keep hitting that typewriter.
This is the room where you saw the brick just laying. Yeah, that's just cool.
That's not me or John.
Yeah, we didn't think so. We got to rule out, you know.
and it's a female voice.
Yes, definitely.
It is definitely a female voice.
When we left upstairs to come down, Dennis invited anything. that might be up there to come down with us. And as we were going down the steps, the meter was staying lit right beside me the whole time down the steps. When we got to the bottom of the steps, and I pulled Jerry to the side, and I said, hey, I didn't want to run too far away from the steps too fast. I said, I think something's following us down the steps. So.
Yeah. So this next footage I have is a bit long. It's 2-3 minutes long, and it's from this camera in here. And this actually starts from the time that we're still upstairs. Now, this camera was going for half an hour, whatever. You don't hear this for about an hour. Once we start upstairs, this thing starts. You start hearing stuff, and it goes on exactly until the time that we walk back in that door for our break.
keep in mind, that's 3 minutes out of, what'd you say? Almost an hour.
Because we were up there for a while. I came down, got my batteries back up there,
Right.
and then we came down the first floor for a while and did all that stuff, and then we came down here, and as soon as we walked in that door, I don't have anything else.
And it stops the rest of mine.
Stops the rest of mine. Oh, that's pretty
Gold.
cool. Yeah. So that's pretty neat. I mean, something's active. There's no doubt.
I was upset I moved all the tools.
Go off until you touch it to it.
No. Well, that's just weird. What is this little deal here? You're really getting a big hit on that. What's that say? Is that a headset?
That's a headset. It's an operator headset.
He was getting several.
Really?
I mean, going halfway across that thing. Kaiser is the name. If your name is Kaiser, can you make that thing light up in his hand with the green light?
It just did. There it is.
That's pretty cool. So unfortunately, I don't have real good footage of that, but I wanted to make a note of that name because after this, I was trying to piece stuff together. So that Kaiser name comes up. Well, see what you guys think about that. But so we did an EVP session right after this, and I didn't get anything on my camera, but Dennis picks up something. We may have to crank this one. This one's a little bit hard to hear.
We're going to listen to our devices later. We're going to listen for names, anything you want to tell us. So just yell as loud as you can into anything that's lighting up. If you come up to me, I've got a recorder on me. So this, I'll play this again. So basically I'm saying you can talk into something. And I'm not going to rule out this is me, but it wouldn't make sense for me to make this noise. But tell us. So just yell as loud as you can into anything that's lighting up. So it's real short.
To me, it sounds female again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking right before this and I'm talking right after that. So
Right.
unless I did some kind of weird, but then there again,
It's
I'm
not.
holding my camera doing the EVP session and it does not show up on right in front of my mouth. So
Right.
it shows up on
It
yours.
shows up on mine, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of neat.
Before, we were in that room, all of us, for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's
if
been,
not
we were in there
more,
for a while, yeah.
before anything happened. Before the meter went off a single time, before anyone heard any noises, nothing happened for a good long period of time. And then, just like what happened up on the top floor, just all of a sudden, it just changed. Just that fast, and things started to happen. So.
Now, in relation when that KT lit up, I was going to ask you, when did Jonetta first have that feeling that she had a feeling that someone was beside her, right? When in
it was
relation?
about that time.
Talk about it.
Because, yeah, whenever he walked over by her and the light had let him over there,
Mm-hmm.
and the light was going crazy. And then that's when Johnetta said, well, that explains that.
See,
And she said she thought David had come down and sat down
oh, yeah, I
beside her
forgot
on the
about that.
floor and joined us. And he was still upstairs.
Yeah, I forgot.
Doing that there in the middle of the floor, or
What's this, Jerry?
what? What?
What did you do? You see that light on the floor? Okay. Can you make it move? Can you touch it, please? Pick it. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Can you do that for me? Okay, come up in there.
What was that? It's to my back, but then that brings down that way. I heard that. Is that you? I heard that. Can you do that again? Yell louder?
You want me to follow you? You want me to go towards Jerry?
I was getting ready to look at this picture behind me. Is that you?
You want to go this way? This way? This way?
Is that you?
Do you want to go this way? This way? This way? You go this way. want to show me? I'm with you. I'm with you.
Talk about why you went in there. It was,
Well, before you saw me leave the schoolroom over there and go into, I'm gonna call that the landing. That's the little room where the stairs come down. The furnace room's across, or you can come into this room. And I wandered around in that room for probably about five minutes or so before anything they came with to where I was with the camera, because I wanted to only go where the meter was taking me. I didn't want to like skip any steps or try to figure out myself where I need to go. So there were several times I just stopped for a long period of time, and I would change directions with it until it would light up again, then continue on. And once I got a strong signal again, it took me straight to the furnace room where that curtain was. And to be honest with you, I really wasn't keen on going in there.
So you called for me.
So that's why I was like, hey, somebody needs to come over here. I'm not going in there. So is that where we pick up?
yeah. The only thing I'll say is Kaylee had this, what I call the ELF meter, the extra low frequency meter.
No.
That also never, ever goes off. And it went off several times throughout the evening. When he's in there, you might hear her voice saying, and Pam he brought it up a couple times where he says, this thing went off, you know, we're kind of.
And she was standing right out there by that the old printing press.
So they're actually standing on opposite sides of the same wall. When hers is going off and Steve's T2 is going off. Just, yeah, another kind of a neat thing.
Okay. This is where I'm supposed to be? Okay. Alright, so what am I looking for?
It got cold in here. You feel colder than
It's light.
What am I looking for? Am I looking for something of yours? Help me out. Help me understand. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll do whatever you need me. Well, I'll do things. Help me out. Help me understand. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll do whatever you need me. Well, I'll do things. You don't realize the dumb things you say until you're okay. You brought me to this corner.
what we hear.
Okay, you brought me to this corner. For what? Help me out.
Yeah, there's this one off.
What went off?
It went off over here by the printer line.
Her
Oh,
meter.
and so it'd be this wall being common.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something on this wall on these shelves? If Steve gets by whatever you want us to see, light that thing up.
Yeah.
Does that say anything? There's pictures or something in that box. What is that?
All right, now I've got the area. Help me pinpoint exactly. Light it up for me real big when I'm on what you're concerned with. What we're looking for. What's this say? Chuck stuff. I don't feel like you're Chuck. Okay.
Get
Are
closer.
you Chuck?
Oops, sorry, that's me.
If you're Chuck, light all the lights up for me, please. All of them. Okay, so it's this cardboard sign that says Chuck stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
not
the-
this.
It's a shelf up here.
Yeah, it's this stuff up here in this milk crate.
Maybe step behind you if I can shine it there.
that your stuff in the Prairie Farms crate? Looky there. Lit up big time.
That's me.
Looks like it's gone now. Do you want us to look in the crate? Is it beside the crate? I mean, it might still be yes for looking inside the crate. It might have just been delayed response. Well, the lanterns are really lighting up. But the response was to the crate.
Yeah, that first one was a direct boom as soon as you asked it.
We don't have permission to look in that crate.
Yeah.
We need to ask Dave who Chuck is.
So, how would that be? How about if we ask the gentleman that works here if he knows Chuck and ask him if we can look in that crate? Would that be acceptable? Went right to a sign that says Chuck's stuff.
We've had several different hits relating to that.
Does the stuff belong to Chuck Paline?
Who's Chuck Palin?
He's the one who runs the Chevelle Village up at Rocky Point.
Look at there, it's lighting up.
Yep, do you know Chuck? Chuck has some stuff here. Trying to remember what Brandy said was here that was Chuck's.
But Chuck's alive?
Yeah.
Somebody Chuck knows, isn't it?
But there was something, gosh, what did she say? And I asked her, I said, I'm surprised he doesn't have it up there at the village.
There's a Prairie Farms milk crate up here full of, looks like documents. And that's what's labeled Chuck's stuff.
I'm going to ask
Does that belong to Chuck Paline?
Let me ask this question. If you're related to Chuck, can you make that light up again? Well, I just got goosebumps.
Me too.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to work on that. We're going to work on figuring out who you are so that we can know how to help you. How's that? We'll do that.
Tombstones was
Tombstones. Chuck has
Are you living in my
replaced.
stomach?
Chuck has replaced the tombstone with a new one. She said.
Oh,
Chuck has replaced the tombstone.
that is right. I
One of the
remember that.
tombstones in this room around here
Yeah.
was one that Chuck had replaced up there at Goosetown Cemetery.
Well, let's go look at that.
That is where I was drawn earlier.
So, does any of this over here have anything to do with what you were showing us in the furnace room? With the Chuck stuff? That figures.
Nothing.
Oh, no, it
it
went crazy. And then it just stopped.
I wonder if it's her.
Margaretha, is that the name?
Margaretha. Well, it's nice to meet you, lady. Were you showing me that, or were you just standing there waiting for me to turn around so you could go out the door? Oh,
What is that right there I'm looking at?
some kind of,
Freaky painting?
no, it's a photograph.
Oh, it's a photograph.
Like a well. It's a pump or something.
Oh. That's kind of neat. Have you seen this photograph before? Whatever that was. Who is that in the photograph?
Is that your son?
Whatever it is, it's got some energy attached to it.
Yeah, it is. Or whatever it is behind
Behind
it.
it.
Well, you got all that limestone rock behind you, look at all that.
Yeah, that's true too.
Okay, help us figure something out again. Okay. Turn the meter off. Hang on.
That's me making noises.
Do you want us to look at the painting or what's behind the painting? If it's the painting, turn the lights off. Okay, this is kind of weird. If it's what's behind the painting, turn the lights off. On. Forget it.
Confused.
So I'm sorry. Alright, well, let's take a look at what's behind the painting.
Utica house, what is that?
Just or is it this?
Sewing machine, circa
18.
mother, no, that's
Belonged to Miss Florence Lanneman.
I've got one just about like that at home.
Or is everything in here yours? I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. Calm down.
I do the spirit box.
Yeah, maybe we get an answer that way.
Okay. Don't be noisy. Put my camera right there. It'd be really noisy in this little room.
Yeah, it's wild. Spirit box.
You shine your light on here for me.
Yes.
Are we supposed to stay in here? Do you want us to stay in this room?
We need to figure out ways to communicate to you better. Can you make a loud noise somewhere in this room so we can hear you? Any of the stuff in here, any wooden thing, can you knock on it? Make some kind of loud noise.
Like this. This is just insane. Well, what is that? It's a plan.
Plans for something, yeah.
Caution, watch your step.
Let's see, hidden cabin, little pine chapel.
Here, hold that way, Dennis. That pain.
I think I know what that is. Utica house. Is that the cabin thing up there by Mom and Dad's?
Shine a light on it.
That little village up there.
Does it say on it anywhere? Chabelle
Blacksmith
Village?
shop. What's that?
Chabelle Village?
Hinton cabin.
Yeah.
James Falls cabin.
Yeah, that's it.
Carrier center. But that's up there by that cemetery, right? No,
No,
not really.
it's a little ways from it. Because it's just the,
But that's
the
that
village is just past
Sits
Rocky
on-
Point.
Right. That's what I'm trying to find. What's
But all
trying to
that
find
stuff
back
has
from-
been brought there from other locations.
Right. What's that say right there?
Two cemetery.
Hiking trail to
Through
cemetery,
Yeah, through woods.
quarter of a mile. But what back here, Shoemaker Camp private. So here's the road. Well, no. What's it say? Private drive.
We're trying to figure out what you're more interested in, the campground, or what is it?
Chevelle Village.
Chevelle Village? Or is it this?
Is there any chance that that cemetery that's on that map is where?
No.
It says, that's me. Something Pump, Cannelton, Indiana. What's on the back? Price tag. Oh, it's price tag. Alright, so
So what's over there on the far corner down in the bottom?
this is parking lot, visitor center, existing barn, possible park entrance, visitor center,
Must have been his original.
plans for what he wanted to do.
That's freaky, that pattern that makes on the wall.
Carter
To your
cabin,
right.
blacksmith shop.
Payline outhouse.
Payline. Stephen Payline log tool shed.
Right, see a Payline outhouse. So,
Probably because Ross dicks each other.
So everything is revolving around pay.
Utica house, what is that?
Where is this?
Sewing machine, circa
18.
mother, no, that's
Belonged to Miss Florence Bannerman.
I've got one just about like that at home.
Or is everything in here yours? I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. Calm down.
Okay. So, that's basically what we got as far as things we could explain and cool stuff. Just quite a bit. We were really excited about this and getting this stuff. Now, I did, ridiculous amount of research and trying to piece stuff together later. All kind of dead ends. One of the things I was going to ask you about is, we're trying to figure out who Margarita is. So, is this the same Margarita?
I think so.
And see, here's what my question is.
That's just Stephen Payline there.
Yeah. And I could not find that Stephen Payline log cabin on the map. I mean, on the current pictures of the site.
See, that might have been the
That could have been his previous plans.
preliminary or something,
So
the
maybe
first
he didn't
design.
get that cabin moved there.
Right.
Right.
That could be something. There's so many questions. We have more questions than answers, like I said. But here's another thing. I did some stuff here, but the Kaiser that you heard earlier, that's at Chevelle Village. So here's one more connection we got to Chevelle Village.
I guess I didn't realize that they had a cabin under that name up there. So that's,
Yeah, I
that's
found
interesting.
several pictures of that. So to me, it all ties back to Chevelle Village. Something, I don't know if they're happy, not happy, or something's missing, or something needs to be done. There's some kind of connection there. Something that's bizarre. I don't know how to categorize this experience. But when we were driving up for the 9 investigation, we were coming between Telston and Cannelton, and Steve asked me a question.
Yeah, he was driving. I was riding in the front seat with him. Not that that's important. I don't know why I said that. But
It's all the details.
I said, I'm setting it up like we're going to watch a video. So I asked him, I said, is there a place up here that looks like it's out of the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village? And what'd you say?
I said, I was trying to guess because I'm from Evanston, so I'm like, I don't know, Leavenworth, I don't know.
Springfield.
I had no idea what he's talking about.
And I told him that one day, while I was working, I was looking for one of my technicians, and I ended up, I was trying to find a place to turn around, but I ended up in this place that kind of freaked me out because I thought I went back in time. But I went looking for it again after that, and I couldn't find it again, so I couldn't remember where it was. But it turns out that that's
where it was.
yeah.
Yeah, so the same village, and we totally forgot about that conversation until almost when I got to Evansville, I remembered that. I was like, oh damn, that's weird. And you already got conked out, so I didn't bring it up to the next day.
Yeah.
It's like, of all the conversations we could have, and then to have your investigation kind of culminate at the same village, that's really weird.
Yeah.
We were really excited about this. That was really neat.
Like I said, we left here feeling pretty confident that we had stuff.
Just because the interactions we had throughout the night, that's unique,
And then
way beyond compare.
So many investigations that we do before we had that meter or anything that gave you real-time interaction, we just wandered around in the dark for all night long and had no idea if we were capturing any evidence or anything like that. So to actually have real-time interaction,
And actually take you places.
yeah,
that
that was really, really,
really neat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys had things happen, even if you can't really explain them, but, because I was worried that you wouldn't find anything at all, and it'd be a wasted trip for you guys, because
never a
I
wasted trip.
personally hadn't had any of these experiences.
Yeah.
Well, I'm open to that. I mean, you guys are welcome to come back
I
anytime that
don't
you
think we'd
want.
love to.
Yeah,
You
I-
might now know maybe some areas that you would
Well,
want
that's
to
the whole
focus on.
point.
Yeah.
And put things in the right places and
Yeah.
and
Now that we
everything.
know, have a feeling of how
I mean, we
things.
could eliminate a lot of area that we don't really need to mess with and just go on certain things.
Don't forget to visit the Perry County Museum and Old Courthouse in Chabelle Little Pioneer Village.